Next on Comcast Newsmakers, what's going on with the North Spokane Corridor project? We'll get an update from the Department of Transportation coming up. Hi, welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Sabrina Register. Today we are in Spokane at the flour mill. And joining me right now, Al Gilson, who's Public Information Officer for the Washington State Department of Transportation. So good to see you. Thanks for coming on the program. Here. Let's talk construction, because a lot of people in the area are wondering what's going on with the corridor project. You have finished some of it. I'm sure people have noticed that, have been very happy about that, but you're not done with everything, so bring us up to date.
So over the last 10 years or so, we've had a variety of construction projects, and we finished 5.7 miles of the 10-mile corridor. What people recently saw was construction of the Francis Avenue Bridge. We took out the old bridge, which was a little too short, and we put in a longer bridge, a 450-foot long bridge, in order to have the railroad tracks and a new freeway underneath it. So that project just wrapping up. It took us quite a while to build a new bridge that big. So it's just wrapping up, a few minor items left to go. And people have been driving on it now for quite a while. But that's the biggest project that we've had recently. We've got another set of projects going on. We have one right now where we're redoing some of the railroad tracks that go underneath to move them to each side so we can build the freeway down the middle. We're extending the Children of the Sun Trail another mile down into the Hilliard neighborhood. That'll be some nice connectivity for them. That's underway right now. Some freeway bridges to go over some of the railroad tracks. And that's our last big project. Got one more project after that. We're going to redo the Wellesley-Freya intersection, build a roundabout there. That intersection's been kind of a tough one for the city for a long, long time. Because it's going to be part of a freeway interchange, we're going to rebuild that ahead of time.
So to finish everything, what will make it a reality?
Well, funding is always the big question. The legislature makes those tough decisions on how to allocate the transportation dollars. We're ready to get started, design and build some projects. We've got a little bit of money left on right-of-way so we can purchase the property that we need for some of these construction projects that we've got on the books. So what we really need is some funding allocated so we can continue that progress from Francis, where we are now, down south to the river, over the river, and then down to Trent and I-90.
So you'll be watching what happens in Olympia closely.
We always have to watch what happens in Olympia. They've got, like I say, the tough choices, big projects across the state, big needs, and not as many dollars as we need.
Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about winter driving, because it's almost upon us now.
Well,
so what do we need to know? First of all, where to get that information, that important information?
Our website's always a great place. Go to our winter driving page on the DOT website. You can find a whole bunch of information on how to be prepared, what kind of equipment to have. And then really the biggest thing that you have to do is know before you go. Know what kind of road conditions you have ahead of you, what kind of weather conditions you have. Make sure you have the right equipment. Do you have those mud and snow type tires? Not necessarily needing studded tires, but good mud and snow tires. And first and foremost, slow down. Make sure you drive for the conditions. We've got snow starting to happen in the Cascades here right now, so people need to be ready for that winter driving.
And as you mentioned, the changing conditions, because it really can change pretty quickly on you. You think you know what the forecast is, and then something gets kind of thrown into the mix, and then everything's sort of up in the air.
The forecast is the tough thing. We look at the forecast every day, but we can't be everywhere all the time. So you really have to be aware of the road conditions ahead of you and just take those precautions. Be ready for anything. We try to get everywhere and get those roads treated as best we can, but winter is winter and it happens. So when it's cold and you have precipitation, you can bet on getting some ice.
And head to your website to get the latest information and also any tips as far as winter driving.
You bet. You can get those mountain pass conditions, and we have some conditions on the lower level roads here in the inland Northwest. People get an idea of what they can expect.
Always great to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers.